Covered her face with her palm. Speak into you. Phyllis asks, what's your name? Catherine points at blank. Nope. Go. Y. I. D. Speaking to Mr. Catherine softly said, I gave him direct instructions over the pendant. It is not my fault that he failed to listen. Space. Speaking to it, Conan exclaims, I did no such thing. Phyllis says, I found him first. The rest of you walked him around in circles. Speaking to Phyllis, Catherine softly said, he could always choose to pay us all. Speaking to Conan, Phyllis sarcastically says, oh, of course not. You just went food shopping instead. Conan Phyllis said, also here. Phyllis speaking to Conan, Catherine softly says, I have the good sense to wear boots. Speaking to Catherine, Phyllis angrily asks, your payment? Lips of Catherine, you are what you do, say. Catherine agreed with it. You say your voice muffled by your great elm. How much do you want? Why are you angry? We can sort this out. You say, speaking to Catherine, Phyllis says, I could live with that. Speaking to Conan, Phyllis sarcastically says, oh, of course not. You just went food shopping instead. Speaking to you, Catherine softly asks, you are begging who? You say your voice muffled by your great elm. Yes, I'm begging you. Phyllis runs her chin thoughtfully. Speaking to Phyllis, Conan peevishly says, I even have to buy a new pair of socks. Speaking to Catherine, Phyllis offered 1,000 apiece. Speaking to Comet. Of D. J. You say your voice muffled by your great elm. Can we go with a payment plan? I currently have 600 real and that is it. I'm poor compared to you fine people. Speaking to Conan, Phyllis says, it is a wonder to me that you are somehow entirely incompetent and one of the best fighters I know. My rhymes, my effects about watching. Speaking to you, Catherine softly says, each of us accepted and assisted you. Conan says, I'm not entirely incompetent. You say, your voice muffled. Speaking to Conan, speaking to you, Catherine softly says, you offered over the pendant to pay any who assisted you in finding the south bank of the village. Speaking to Myla, Conan asks, right. Blank. You are carrying free will. Myla nods in agreement. You gather 577 real from a thin-you-stitched sailcloth satchel. Speaking to you, Catherine softly asks, I believe 75 real each will suffice, unless anyone has an issue with this amount. Myra looks around. Speaking to Conan, Phyllis says, maybe not entirely, but you forgot your boots and socks and trudged through a swamp. Myra waves. Myra heads southeast, dripping wet. Conan says, boy, the poor man doesn't even have real enough for a fortnight at the inn. Phyllis pouts. Hey. You say your voice muffled by your great elm. I have 577 real altogether. Speaking to Phyllis, Conan says, I only did so because I feared this man would starve if they did not receive assistance soon. You say your voice muffled by Phyllis mumble, don't offer payments you can't make. Conan says, I'm honorable and noble and good-hearted and yes. Conan nods. Conan says, that's me. Blank. Speaking to you, Catherine says, you have that minus 225. N. You say your voice muffled by your great elm. Okay, 225 real it is. What were you trying to get? Space. What were you trying to give? Speak interview. You can hold an item in your right hand. Speak interview. Catherine softly says, in the future I would be more careful in offering payment. I are unable to comply. Speaking to Conan, Philista says, while that's true, that doesn't negate the fact you plunged through a swamp barefoot. For a noble and pure reason, yes, but noble and pure people are often incompetent. BBS writes this one. You toss a rock pick sex. Speaking to you, Conan says, we can proceed to the detail of your particular assignment whenever you wish. Catherine folds his hand out, waving. Philista notes, then I have to hire unsavory people to break your kneecaps and vandalize your property. Guess what? Blank. You are carrying 580 realm. You can hold an item in your right hand and type give name in order to give that item to someone. Example, give bargain. To give money to someone, use the following syntax. Give name amount. Example, give bargain 300. You can also give item to... Conan remove FOC. You and Conan 225 realm. Conan says, oh, speaking of kneecaps. Philista notes, then I have to hire unsavory people to break your kneecaps and vandalize your property. Speaking to Conan, Philista asks, is that ice cream? E-F-A-E-L-P space. R-D-F-O-C. Conan. F-A-C space. E-P. Space. You ask your voice muffled by your break helm. Conan has the full amount. Conan, may you please divide the full amount properly? Philista coughs. You ask you're speaking to a blue-eyed Snow White Morgan horse with a glowing ivory mane. Conan says, it's okay girl. She's just jealous of your briarwood breeding. Speaking to Conan, Philista says, that is not a briarwood. Speaking to Philista, Conan says, it's surely. Speaking to Philista, Conan. A. Philista and... You say your voice muffled by your break helm. I want to make sure that everyone is properly paid. Let me know when you are all paid. Out. All sure that you say your voice you're feeling left Conan shrugged. Philista and Cloc. F. Conan says, I don't think she really cares honestly. So long as I treat her like a queen. Conan removes the curry comb from him. Philista says, I think that does it. Blank. F-E. Conan carefully folds I. I. Conan puts a curry comb in the... E-M-E, blank, space. E. Speaking to Conan. You say your voice muffled by your break helm. Excellent. I hope that you are not angry with me for whatever reason. You say your voice must speak into Conan. Philista says, I admit I am slightly jealous. Catherine heads southeast. Speaking to you, Conan says, not at all. I for one was simply passing you. Speaking to you, Philista says, if you need help, call for Conan. Conan says, number two, I'm not so sure about. Conan takes off a short-barreled smoothbore carbine with a coin-shaped sight. Conan slings a short-barreled smoothbore carbine with a coin-shaped sight over it. Invalid command. You are holding a slender copper greatsword with a twisted dark steel crossguard in your right hand. You are wearing a gleaming copper great helm, a colorless. You are carrying 355 real. Conan says, 2. Speaking to you, Philista says, he's very pure-hearted and he can't sleep at night if he doesn't save one innocent soul every day. Conan says, number 2, I'm not so sure. But what? Philista with speaking to Conan. Philista notes, oh, you've improved your counting. Conan says. small pile of real, Conan says. It's just to balance out all the other crap that's going on here in the land. You say your voice muffled by your great helm. I see. I'm ready to go. You are ravenous. You are holding a slender copper great sword with a twisted dark steel crossguard in your right hand. You are wearing a bleeding copper great helm, a colorless transparent crystal pen. It is the Wayne. Conan says, blood cultist infested, hungry cannibalism, sorceress taking invaders from the southwest. I think I'm missing a few things. Conan begins to count on his finger as he lists things. In manage command, you may type. Okay. You're already in a group. You have to leave your group. Conan says, own a cannon. You leave the listed group. Join Conan. You join Conan. Conan says, own a cannon. It is blank. It is the says, faithful sorcerers looking to destroy towns. Blank. It is the says, truly a mess. It is the says, have fun, kids. It is the Wayne. You laugh. Conan says, yes, no, not. Space. It is the enemy southwest, riding a powerful black warhorse. Conan nods to you. Space. Why? Conan says, off we go. You follow Conan to a hill. You head to a hill. Infested village. South bank up. You follow Conan west. You head west. Infested. Conan and the blue-eyed snowy white Morgan horse with a glowing ivory mane saw you hide. Conan takes off a short arrow. You follow Conan west. An infested river. An infested river dweller runs towards Conan, but is unable to get close enough. You prepare to engage in glorious battle. Engage. You spring from high into attack. You attack an infested river dweller with your slender copper greatsword with a twisted dark steel. You attack an infested river dweller with your slender copper greatsword with a twisted dark steel crossguard. Battle. An infested river hide. Lunge. Battle. Blank. Lunge. Wait 1 second. TSP Grey Star and repulse of the color rust flicker now. Blank. And a blue-eyed snowy white Morgan horse with a flowing ivory mane saw you hide. Hamstring boom. Hamstring boom. Infested river dweller saw you. Infested village. South and up the elk. Copy. Hamstring boom. Conan pulls the trigger of it. You prepare to engage in glorious battle. Attack what? Also here, an infested river dweller. Conan says, out. Attack. You feel fully rested. An infested piercing strike driven clean into the chest. Shishkan dweller. Cloc. Edit mode. You've been tasked to count the numbers of infested in the infested village, South Bank area. You still need to take out 9 more infested creatures in the area. You have these infested village. You prepare to engage in glorious battle. An infested river dweller moves in toward Conan, but is unable to get close enough. Engage. Conan says, I shall probably let you attack them, so you can have a clear conscience when you tell your master you completed their assignment. You attack an infested river dweller with your... You attack Conan chuckles. You say, your voice muffled by your great helm. Thank you, Conan. You attack an infested. Conan says, rather than me just blasting them to pieces when they appear. Conan says, probably thunder for the way anyway. You attack an Wait 2 seconds. You attack an infested river dweller with your slam. Conan pulls the trigger of his short-barreled smooth-bore carbine with a coin-shaped sight. Conan fires a copper bullet at an infested river dweller. Plus 5 star 24 pierce damage to the chest. An infested river dweller attacks you with his An infested river dweller attacks you with his twin spear. Energy -1. Conan pulls the trigger of his short snap. You prepare to engage in glorious battle. Attack what? Out. You prepare to... An infested river dweller has been defeated. Cloc. Edit multi-line blank. 1 tweet. B. You've been tasked to count the numbers of infested in the infested village, South Bank area. You still need to take out 8 more infested creatures in the air. You can't go that way. You can't go that way. You can't go that way. I. Look what? Space. Look what? You feel fully. Look what? Look what? You head west, infested village, south bank double, loot corpse, loot infested, loot carrier. Look what? Blank. You head west, infested village, south bank outfield. You prepare to engage in forest battle. An infested river dweller moves in toward you, but is unable to get close. You click Conan says, whoops, attack what? Conan mutters. Conan. Look what? Conan says, sorry reflex. Tip.
3.
FK space. E. FE space YM space. You say your voice muffled by your great helm, I understand. However, I think my master would be angry if he knew that I did not actually attack the infested creatures. Cat stalker copper bear saved powered. That's kinda gay, huh? Cat demonic melding the monster warrior. Long day owl. Conan on. Conan says, of course one. You can't go that way. You can't go that. You head south, infested village, south bank out the LDT temperate, obvious path, west, north, east, south, east. You head east, infested. You prepare to engage in glorious battle. An infested river dweller moves in. An infested river dweller moves in towards Conan, but is unable. Attack what? Output. Attack what? An infested river dweller has been. That's another dead infested. Piercing strike ribbon clean into the chest. Shishkan dweller. Cloc. Blank. You prepare to engage in glorious battle. Attack what? You find 27 real on. You find no real to loot on the top. Very what? You bury the corpse of an infested. You head north in buried wet, berry corpse, loot dweller. You find 10 real and buried wet. 4 weeks, you bury the corpse of an and buried wet, berry corpse, loot dweller. Loot what? Loot what? You head loot dweller. You find 26 loot dweller, buried dweller. You bury the corpse of loot dweller. Loot what? You can't go that way. You can't go that way. You prepare to engage in glorious battle. Engage. You attack an infested river dweller with your sled. Attack an infested river dweller with your sled. You attack an infested river dweller with your slender copper breaksword with a twisted dark steel crossguard. Breaksword 63 pierce damage to the left arm. Energy -6. An infested river dweller attacks you with his spear. Energy -1. Conan pulls the trigger on his short-barreled smoothbore carbine with a coin-shaped sight. Conan fires a copper bullet at an infested river dweller. Plus 5 star 45 pierce damage to the chest. An infested river dweller attacks. Conan manages to break away from the hostile engaging him. Conan pulls the trigger on his short-barreled smoothbore carbine with a coin-shaped sight. Conan fires a copper loot dweller. You find 6 You find loot dweller. Blank. Loot. You find no realm to loot battle. Loot web. Buried web. You married speaking to you. Conan asks, did you get any formal training with that thing? Loot web. Loot what? Blank. Quote. S. F-A-H. P. Tick. An infested river dweller just arrived. An infested river dweller attacks you with. You say your voice muffled by your whip. Conan pulls the trigger on his short-barreled smoothbore carbine with a coin-shaped sight. Conan fires a copper bullet. Battle. You prepare to engage in glorious. Blank. You find 9 real on the corpse of an infested river dweller. You bury the corpse of an infested river dweller. Conan says, alright. Conan and the blue-eyed snow-white Morgan horse with a flowing ivory mane. Conan says, alright. Infested village, south bank, outfield loop temperate. You also notice a crude sphere. Obvious path, north, east, west, east, south. You are followed by Conan. You feel fully rested. Infested. Invalid command. Conan asks, I can try and show you a couple other things with it though if you would like. Conan says, maybe if you're not already practicing someone else in advice. Entering room. Yep. You say your voice muffled by your grey helm. I would be willing to learn. How would you say your Conan arching an eyebrow at you? Your hiding spot is revealed by Conan. Cloc, blank. You can't go that way. You can't out, infested drill it. You can eat infested. You prepare to enter into this battle. Engage. You attack an infested river dweller with your slender copper break sword with a twisted dark steel. You attack an infested river dweller with your slender copper break sword with a twisted dark steel cross. Don't pull the trigger. You stop battle. You prepare to engage in glorious battle. An infested river dweller moved into war. An infested river dweller moved into war Conan, but unable to get close enough. You attack an infested river dweller with your slender copper break sword with a twisted dark steel crossguard. Break sword 52 have damage to the right arm. You find 25 real on the corpse of an infested river dweller. You marry the loop. You find 11 real marry. You marry the Conan asks, come you hand me that strong box. Blank. Conan points his short barreled smooth carbine with a coin-shaped sight at a sturdy bronze strong box. An infested river. You feel heat. An infested river dweller attacks you with the crude spear. An infested river dweller attacks you with the crude spear. Energy -1. Conan pull. You pick up a sturdy bronze strong. Oh, see. You can hold an item in your right hand and type give Conan blank. Give to whom? Give strong box Conan blank. Out. Give an either hand. You can also give item to target white name amount and you can also give edit mode. An infested river dweller attacks you with improved spear. Spear equals 3 pierce damage plus to the abdomen. Energy -1. You prepare to engage in glorious battle. You fumble with your slender copper break sword with a twisted dark steel crossguard. Unable to swing it effectively with one hand. Conan puts a sleek bronze lockpick into his iron-plated silver damask knapsack. Give to whom? Conan slings a shot. Give to blank. You offer to give a sturdy bronze strong box to Conan. You may cancel if you wish to withdraw the offer. Conan can accept your offer and is now holding a sturdy bronze strong box. Conan dodge. You find 6 real on the corpse of an infested river. You marry the corpse of an infested river. You've been tasked to tell the number of infested in the infested village, Southbank area. You still need to take out 3 more infested creatures in the area. If you are unable or unwilling to complete this task, you may ask your guild taskmaster to remove you from the task. Conan shares some real with the group. Conan hands you 44 real. Conan removes some light green jade from his sturdy bronze strong box. Conan puts some light green. Married wet, loop wet. You find 10 real loop task. Married wet. You marry the top task. Married wet, loop wet. Loop what? Blank. You can't go that way. Conan says, oh and that box. Conan nods toward a simple. Conan says, oh and that box. Conan slings the. You pick up a simple wood box with your left hand. Oh, see. You offer to give a simple wood box to Conan. You may cancel if you wish to withdraw the offer. Conan can accept your offer and is now holding a simple wood box. Conan settles into the task of picking the lock on a simple wood box with his sleek bronze lockpick. Conan stops picking the lock on a simple wood box as you hear a soft star click star come from the box. Conan opens a simple wood box. Conan puts a sleek bronze lockpick into his iron-plated silver damask knapsack. You ask your voice muffled by your grey helm. You are a locksmith. Conan puts a bloodstone into his iron-plated silver damask knapsack. Conan removes a standard iron bar from his simple wood box. Conan puts a standard iron bar into his iron-plated silver damask knapsack. Conan shares some real with the group. Conan hands you 45 real. Conan asks, Conan says, sorta. You are carrying 219 real. Your canvas backpack also contains 355. small pack. Conan says, I'm not as good as those guys in town. One day maybe. You are carrying 0 realm. Your canvas backpack also contains 574 realm. Conan says, I'm more of a treasure hunter who uses their skill sets to help bring wealth to other adventurers of the Lost Lands. B. You say your voice muffled by your grey helm. I restored my wealth. I have 3 more dwellers to kill. You are unable to get. E. Conan says, there's lots of abandoned places like this one scattered about, some with untold riches, and some with untold dangers. You prepare to engage in glorious battle. You feel fully well. Conan says, try and make it within the steps to those places and recover what? Conan says, can. Attack an infested river dweller with your slender copper breaksword with a twisted dark steel crossguard. Breaksword, 50 half damage. An infested river dweller attacks you. Attack an infested river dweller with your slender copper breaksword with a twisted dark steel crossguard. Breaksword equals 59 half damage to the head. You find 3 realm on the corpse of an infested river dweller. Conan said. F. You bury the. Conan says, I'm also a Koinon of the Shamgard militia. Conan taps the copper Koinon militia man he is wearing. 1 tweet. An infested river dweller arrives from the. You say your voice muffled by your grey helm. You prepare to engage in glorious battle. An infested. Conan says, well that's more of a duty I have than a profession. Conan pulls the trigger of his short-barreled smooth cart. You find 12 realm on the corpse of an infested river dweller. You bury the corpse of an infested river dweller. You've been tasked to cull the numbers of infested in the infested village, South Bank area. You still need to take out 1 more infested creature in the area if you are unable or unwilling to kill. You head west, infested village, South Bank. You head north, infested village, South Bank, out the LDT temperate. You also notice a crude spear X2 and the corpse of an infested river dweller X2. You find 20. You find no realm to loot on the corpse of an infested river. You bury the loot. You find 20. Buried wet. You bury the. Conan says, well, I lived in Shamgard for a while, helped out where I could, and showed up for orientation. You are carrying 62 realm. Your canvas backpack also. Put a small pile of realm in the canvas backpack. Conan says, well, I live. You are carrying 0 realm. Your canvas backpack also contains 636 realm. Conan says, that's the short of it at least. An infested river dweller arrives. Conan pulls the trigger of his short-barreled smooth carbine with a coin. You've been tasked to cull the numbers of infested in the infested village, South Bank area. You still need to take out 1 more infested creature. You find 10 realm on the corpse of an infested river. You bury the corpse of an infested. You say your voice muffled by your grey helm. May attack the left dweller / Conan down. You head east, infested village, South Bank, out the L-loop temperate. You also notice a crude spear on this path. North, east, west, east, south. You are You head south, infested. You also notice a. Conan says, my apologies once again. You can't go that way. You can't go that way. You head west, infested village, South Bank, out the LDT temperate. On this path. West, north, east, south. You are followed by You head west, infested village. Prepare to engage in glorious battle. Conan pulls the trigger on his short-barreled smooth carbine with a Koinon-shaped sight. Conan also here. An infested river dweller. An infested river dweller attacks you with her crude spear. An infested river dweller attacks you with her crude spear. Spear plus blank. Conan manages to break away. Blank. An infested river dweller. Blank. An infested river dweller moves into war Conan, but is unable to get close enough. You prepare to engage in glorious battle. You attack an infested river dweller struggles to stand, but fails. You attack an infested river dweller with your slender copper breaksword with a twisted dark steel crossguard. Energy -6. An infested river dweller. Attack run battle. You stop battle. You prepare to engage in glorious battle. Conan pulls the trigger. Attack an infested river dweller with your slender blank. Conan pulls. An infested river dweller no longer appears stunned. An infested river dweller stands up. Conan pulls the trigger on his shot. Wait. Next 2 seconds. Queuing following command. Run. An infested river dweller attacks you with her crude spear. Energy -1. Conan pulls the trigger on his short arrows. CSP breaks. You find dating real on. You marry the pep loop. You find pep. You marry the pep loop what? Blank. You've completed your task. Go check in with your taskmaster. S. Space. Infested river dweller at PM. Conan takes off. An infested river dweller attacks Conan with his crude spear. You prepare to engage in glorious battle. You attack an infested river dweller with your slender copper break sword with what Conan says. Yes, anytime. Conan pulls the trigger on his short arrow. Space. Conan says, well, maybe not anytime. When you need it, an infested river dweller attacks you with his crude spear. Energy -1. Conan appears to relax. Attack what? D. You find dating real on the corpse of an infested river dweller. You marry the corpse of an infested river dweller. Conan slings a short. Speaking to you, Conan asks, do you know your way from here? Speaking to you, Conan asks, do you know your way from here? Conan cloning a double-buckled black leather utility belt. You shake your head. Conan nods. You are carrying 67 real. Your canvas backpack also contains Conan asks, I will get a snack to Haven then. The package ton of winged flip. You must be holding the large pile of real before. Put a small pile of real in the can. Conan waves at the buzzing wings and frowns. You are carrying 0 real. Your canvas backpack also contains 703 real. Conan leaves your group. Chase. Infested village, South Bank at PLFL route temperate mild, fair, calm. The river turns into a marshy area to... Space. The high-pitched run of wind flicks past your ear, but it's on this. You can't go that way. Space. Space. You ask your horseman, are you great health? Are you feeling well? You glance around frantically for somewhere to flee. You head east, infested village, South Bank at PLDT temperate, obvious path, west, north, east, south. You feel fully rested. You can't go that way. You head north, infested village, South Bank at PLDT. You prepare to engage in glorious battle. An infested river dweller moves in toward you, but is unable to get close enough. Attack an infested river dweller with... Infested river dweller attacks you with his crude spear. Spear plus spear damage to the right leg. Energy -1. You can't do that now. You're under attack. An infested river dweller attacks you with his crude spear. Energy -1. An infested river dweller attacks you with... You prepare to engage in glorious battle. You attack an infested river dweller with your slender copper breaksword with a twisted dark steel crossguard. Energy -6. An infested river dweller attack. Attack an infested river dweller with your slender copper breaksword with a twisted dark steel crossguard. Energy -6. An infested river dweller attacks you with his crude spear. Energy -1. You attack an infested river dweller with your slender copper breaksword with a twisted dark steel crossguard. Breaksword 36 hack damage to the right leg. Energy -6. An infested river dweller attacks you with his crude spear. Fatigue. Unconscious ravenous. Your neck is scraped. Your neck is scraped. Your neck is scraped. You attack an infested river. An infested river dweller attacks you with blank. attack an infested river dweller with your slender upper great sword with a twisted dark steel crossguard. Great sword plus 72 have damage to the right arm. Energy -6. You are now done learning swords. You feel you have practiced the sword skill on your own for your previous studies to sink in, and you may now receive additional training in it. An infested river dweller attacks you with improved fear. Infested river dweller. ESP Grey Corridor. Now you old man, you attack an infested river dweller with ESP Grey Gunmetal Grey. Yes. You attack an infested river dweller with your ESP Grey Gunmetal Grey. Oh, sorry, an infested river dweller has been defeated. Attack what? E. You find 17 real on the corpse of an infested river dweller. You bury the corpse of an infested. Look what? You head south, infested village, south bank of the LBT temperate, obvious path, west, north, east, south. What? Infested village, south bank of the LBT temperate mile, fair, calm. The center of the village has been turned into something of a common area. Pile of supplies they have haphazardly throughout the area. Conan says, Conan pokes his finger at you. Space. Conan says, you going to follow WME or space. You join Conan. Conan removes the galleon. An infested river dweller attacks you with improved spear. Spear plus 10 pierce damage to the right arm. Energy -1. You prepare to engage in close battle. You attack an infested river dweller with your slender copper greatsword with a twisted dark steel crossguard. Greatsword 46 half damage. An infested river dweller attacks you with improved spear. Spear plus 13 pierce damage plus 7 F. Energy -1. Conan seems to anticipate an attack from an infested river dweller and quickly tumbles out of the way. Moving to defeat a moment later. You attack an infested river dweller with your slender copper greatsword with a twisted dark. Conan seems to anticipate. Wait 4 seconds. Queuing following. Conan attacks an infested river dweller with his galleon. Conan seems to battle. Luke dweller. Infested river dweller attacks Conan with his troop blank. Conan attacks an infested river with his battle. You prepare to engage in glorious battle. Attack what? Luke dweller. You find no room to loot on the corpse of an infested river. You bury the corpse of an infested river dweller. Conan puts a galleon steel cutlery into his iron-plated silver damask knapsack. Out. Seal. Conan puts a steel cutlery. K-U-K-R-I, I, Cloc, edit multi-line. You follow. Cutlery, blank. You ask your voice muffled by your gray helm, what is a cutlery? Speaking to you, Conan says, so from here we have one lead southeast along the road, then the gates are straight east. Speaking to you, Conan asks, oh, you mean this? Conan removes the galleon steel cutlery from his iron-plated silver damask knapsack. Conan shows you his galleon steel cutlery. There is nothing special about the galleon steel cutlery. You nod. The F. B. Conan says, well, they come from this island far away from here. 1, 2, you put a slender copper greatsword with a twisted dark steel crossguard in the black leather scabbard that you are wearing. You are carrying 40 realm. Your canvas backpack also contains 703 realm. B. F. Put a tiny pile of realm in the canvas backpack that you are wearing. Conan says, I was told only the best guardsmen have them, some kind of social status symbol. Don't know much more than that unfortunately, other than you know, the design of the blade itself, with the curved edge, allows for more of attacking motion than slicing or stabbing. You are carrying 0 realm. Your canvas backpack also contains 743 realm. Conan says, useful for getting through leather armor. F. You're feeling ravenous. Great is great. Black dot blank. Catnick, I learned the swordsman skill. This is great. Blank. Catnick, Conan says, useful for getting through leather armor. Cat roam user keeper of ice cream. Sword of terror. Colon. Blank. Your hands are empty. You are wearing a bleeding copper blade helm, a colorless transparent crystal pendant, a small clear crystal pendant, a canvas backpack, a double-buttoned black wool coat, a long-sleeved white wool shirt, a black leather belt displaying a miniature iron anchor, a black leather scabbard, some soft black wool trousers, and a pair of cut black leather boots. Auto coding southeast. You head southeast. Travel time 3 seconds. Energy -6. You're feeling ravenous. Query roam out double. Also notice a... You follow coded east. You head east. You follow coded through a large wooden gate. You head... Speaking to you, Conan says, and here we are back in Haven. You blank. You ask, your voice muffled by your gray helm. Thank you, Conan. How can I repay you? Out. You ask, your voice saddlebags with thick. Conan puts a large pile of real in the buff leather. Saddlebags with thick straps that is on his mount. Conan, Cloc, Conan says, I think you have enough on your plate. You aren't in a group to leave. Hey! Conan says, in fact, Conan runs his chin thoughtfully. W. Conan hands you 600 real. Conan puts a large pipe. I. Conan asks, I shall be off now though. Take care, yeah? Yes. You are carrying 600 real. Your canvas backpack also contains 743 real. 5. A large pile of... You are carrying 0 real. Your canvas backpack also contains 1,343 real. You smile. You head north, Haven Bridge, south. You head north. You head north. You head north. You head. You head north. You can't go that. You head northeast, Haven, north end. You head into a barracks. You can't go that way. F. You head through a door, Haven barracks, Erwin's office dinner, also here, mercenary. You've completed your task. Go check in with your taskmaster. Mercenary Commander Erwin says, all done with that task. Good job. Mercenary Commander Erwin hands you 210 real. You have received 140 guild points start. You are carrying 210 real. Try removing the sinew. Put a small pile of real in the canvas backpack that you are with. You head out. You head north, Haven. You can't go that way. You head northwest, Haven Barracks, supplies shop. A rough-looking shopkeeper frowns at you and suggests you return after getting cleaned up. You can't go that way. You can't go that way. 1 tweet. You head southeast, Haven Barracks corridor inner. Obvious exits. Northwest, north, south. You head south, Haven, barracks entrance dinner, also here. The mercenary recruiter Echelon, heavily armored, a slender coalition guard. The mercenary recruiter Echelon says, I can train you in the following skills. Armor use 51 real, dodge 55 real, hafted weapons 50 real, melee 55 real, polearms 50 real, shield use 50 real, swords 56 real. If you want training in any of these skills, just ask me about the specific skill you want training in. You head out, hey. You can't go that way. You can't. You can. You can. You can. You can. You can. You can. You can south, Haven. You can through an arch, Haven entry after temperate on this path. You can north, Haven, Willow Road after temperate. E.T. You head into a tavern, Haven, Brith's Place. You sit down on a chair. Brith frowns at you and suggests you return after getting cleaned up. You get up on the chair. You head out, Haven, Willow Road. You head south, Haven. You set about washing yourself off with water from an iron water pump. The door has been washed from you. The blood has been washed from you. ESP Grey Fiery Orange. Anybody about Shandguard who could use locksmithing services? Water slowly drips off you, though you remain drenched. You are carrying 0 realm. Your canvas backpack also contains 1,553 realm. ESP Grey Iron Purple. No, thank you. I have been lazy at gathering boxes of late. ESP Grey Gunmetal Grey. Locked boxes are an excellent source of cash. You head north. You head into a tavern, dripping wet. You sit down on a chair. Brith looks at you without saying a word. One of you tankard 41.20 real. To a drinking horn 42. Blank. CSP Grey Iron. You gather 42 realm from a canvas. Blank. You confirm your order with Brith and pay the 20 realm it costs. You receive your pewter tankard. Test Grey White. It's put me nearly on path to purchase a horse. Chat Cormorant. I wish we could craft a fishing pole. Blank. Chat Captain Jack Little Middle Sparrow. Man, we have a huge storm right above us and it's straight. 2 tweets.
3.
You're feeling ravenous. Chat Rogue Uger. Space. Brith looks at you without saying a word. 1 of Uger tankard 41.20 realm. 2 a drinking horn 42.20 realm. 3 some beer mattered onions. Sit down food 16.10 realm. Blank. N. Uger tankard in the put list. Put blank. You confirm your order with Brith and pay the 10 real it costs. You receive your beer mattered onions. You have space. Do you see them hauling all that stone, marble and wood over that bridge? What are they doing up there? Eat your beer matter onions, finishing it off in one go. Not bad if you like beer matter and onions. You are ravenous. Eat onions all. Order now. You confirm your order or hunger. Eat onions all. Eat your beer matter onions, finishing it off in one go. Like bread in. You are hungry. Do you see them hauling up? Eat onion. Order now. You don't have enough realm to pay for that. Blank. Order hunger. Eat. Order hun. Eat onion. Order now. Put 10 list. Order now. Get 42 realm. You gather 40. Get order now 3. You confirm your order with order. Get order hunger. Eat onions all. Eat your beer mattered onions, finishing it off in one go. Like bread in crunch. Blank. You are slightly hungry. Eat onions all. Order now 3. You confirm order hunger. Eat onion. Eat your eat. Order now hun. Eat onion. Order now 3. Get 42 realm from back. Order now 3. Eat. Blank. Cat cap. You are well fed. Cat Captain Jack Little Middle Sparrow. Just ice and not snow. Uger. You are carrying 24 realm. Your canvas backpack also contains 1,469 realm. Chat rope. A tiny chat rope Uger keeper of ice cream. Sword of terror. Snow has pretty much melted. You are carrying 0 realm. Your canvas backpack also contains 1,493 realm. You get up off a chair. Cat rogue Uber keeper of ice cream, sword of terror. There's just the runoff on the branches and pout. You head out, Haven, wheel road outer temp. You can't go. You head south, Haven entry outer temperate on. You head through. You head. You head. You head. You head. You head. You head. You can't go that way. You head north. You head into a barracks, Haven, barracks entrance dinner, also here, the mercenary recruiter echelon, heavily armored, a slender coalition. You gather 50 realm from a canvas backpack. G. You're already studying that skill. Cat rogue Uber keeper of ice cream, sword of terror, I love the space. You gather 6 real. L. The mercenary recruiter echelon says to you, swords are excellent weapons for a balanced combat style. They are generally well balanced and easy to swing or parry with. If you're sure you want to train in this, ask me about it again. You'll only be able to study up to 3 skills at a time, so choose carefully. Remember, it'll cost you 56 realm to train in this skill. The mercenary recruiter echelon says, okay, let's start training in swords. The mercenary recruiter echelon gives you several pointers, then practices with you a bit. There, now go out and practice what we've been working on for a while, and it should all sink in. Your training has granted you +1 to your swords skill. Your practice of this skill will be doubly effective for the next 24 in-game hours or until you gain 2.5 unmodified points worth of skill gain, whichever comes first. Cat Captain Cat Little Middle Sparrow, I've never been good with the cold. Deadpool calls me a lizard because I get cold over here. Cat rope. Blank. You lie down. You stand up. You head up. You can't go that way. You head southwest. You head south, Haven Bridge, south outer temperate up. You head north, Haven. You head south. You head south, Haven. You head through an R. You head north, Haven, wheel road up. You can't go that. You head east, Haven. Enter it. You can't go that way. You head east. Enter it. You head into an infirmary. Renee's ministry. You lie down. The healer Renee carefully bandages your right arm. The healer Renee carefully bandages your right leg. The healer Renee carefully bandages your chest. The healer Renee carefully bandages your right hand. Cat rogue Uber keeper of ice cream, sword of terror. My fiance is the same way. Slipper socks and frequent foot and hand rubbing solves that. LOL. The healer Renee carefully bandages your left hand. The healer Renee carefully bandages your abdomen. The healer Renee carefully also here. You also here. A sleek black out. The healer and my fiance is the same way. Cat rogue Uber keeper of ice cream, sword of terror. Cat rogue Uber keeper of ice cream, sword of terror. I'm actually really jealous. She has like 3 pairs of LL Bean slippers. Home socks. The healer Renee carefully bandages your left arm. The healer Renee carefully bandages your left leg. The healer Renee, you obvious head, line, wounded, line, trapper, also know Renee's ministry, you head into obvious Haven, you head east, you can obvious, you also Haven, you can obvious Haven, wheel road outer temper, Cloc, cat rogue Uber keeper of ice cream, sword of terror, I'm hoping I get some for Christmas, 2 tweets, cat captain cat little middle sparrow, I used to wear the fluffiest socks to work, it helped some, but the cold still managed to get to me. Your head has completely healed under your bandages, so you remove them. Cat Captain Cat Little Middle Sparrow, and gloves were pointless. Your left arm has completely healed under your bandages, so you remove them. The healer Renee informs you that you don't owe her any money. Cat rogue Uber keeper of ice cream, sword of terror. Do you know what hand warmers are? Cat Captain Cat Little Middle Sparrow, and gloves were pointless. Cat rogue Uber keeper of ice cream, sword of terror, chemical packets that heat up over time. Left face. A. D. U. C. Cat rogue user key. Flowers updated. Cat Nick. They are Cat rogue U. ESP grey gunmetal grey. Any monks available? ESP grey fiery orange. They sure are Kent. Cat Nick. They are awesome. I used Cat rogue user keeper of ice cream. Sort of terror. Though I suppose you don't live in the cold anymore. ESP grey fiery orange. Just probably not willing to trek out to you wherever you may be. The healer Renee retrieves some brandards from various stars and begins applying them to squares of cloth to be used later as poultices. ESP grey fiery orange. Or able to hear you. ESP grey fiery orange. I'll check the infirmary to see if any are there. Cat Captain Cat Little Glass Sparrow. Make sure you drop all the hints. Steal a pair of fur slippers if you can. And no, I live in Texas, though my hands still get cold. I think it's more circulation than anything else.
Okay, I think I'm gonna end the stream here. Whoever, this is gonna be
ESP grey fiery orange. No, not in chat card.
Can, and so thank you very much for
ESP grey gunmetal grey. Thanks. A fisherman and this did. Armor is tougher than skin. Wearing armor can help improve your chances of survival. You can disable this by typing option show this.
Subscribe and share this video out with your friends.
Cat rogue user keeper of ice cream. Sort of terror.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'm signing off.
Cloc bundle window. MUSA. Cloc. MUSA. 64. Start stream.